Great, thanks very much, Wayne. You know, when you've got one of those double last names, it's really nice just to be known by your first name. It's kind of like being Anne Margaret or something like that. Anyway, my name's Sherry Decterhurst, and I'm running for mayor in Brandon. That many of you know me well, but for those that don't, Derry, my husband, and I have lived in Brandon for a very, very long time, 30 years married. 3 beautiful daughters, 2 of whom actually unfortunately had to leave Brandon to find jobs, but we've got our youngest now at university, and that's a good thing. That my family has been 5 generations in Brandon, and again, university and education is very important to me. My grandmother, my mother, myself, my eldest daughter are all graduates of Brandon University. That again, I have a strong passion and commitment to this city. That the reason I ran and put my name in almost a year ago was because I believed that it was time for a change. For a long time, it seems like Brandon's lost its edge. That I hear on the doorstep a lot, you know, where is the progress? Where is the prosperity? And so I think that, again, if we can work together, there's a wonderful opportunity for us to make Brandon an even better city than it is. That the brochure that you received today talks about that as well. And I want you to understand that I believe Brandon is a phenomenally wonderful city. This is the city I grew up in. This is the city that I brought my husband to. This is the city that I've raised my children in. But it can be so much more. But we can't do it unless we all work together. That old prairie spirit, whether it's building a barn or building a city, we can't do it alone. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sherry. And now I'd ask Dave to please come forward.
Thanks very much, Wayne. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you all out here. I always actually enjoy coming for this event. I grew up in this area just a few blocks away, plus was in business just about 5 blocks from here for 23 years. So that's part of my history. Of course, councillor, I served as 4 years for this ward in particular, and 8 years, the past 8 years as mayor. We've had great experience doing that, and personally, I've thoroughly enjoyed the job and the successes that have come with that job towards the city. I believe we've had so much success that I'd like to continue that. There's a lot of building blocks that we've put in place with wastewater treatment, the water treatment itself, all the building blocks that we need to be able to move forward and expand further. And we've had such great growth over the past 8 years, over 3,600 people. And of course, the record-setting expansion and growth in housing and construction. So that's all very progressive, and that's the way I would like to run this city for the next 4 years, is with a very strong fiscal control in a very positive manner and a very inclusive manner. And working with council, I have just been thrilled with what we've been able to do in a very respectful manner, and some pretty darn good people to work with. So it's been a good experience for me, and I'd like to continue that. So thank you very much, and give it back to you.
Thank you, Dave. And now I'd please call upon Henry. Henry?
Hi, my name's Henry Hansen. I was born and raised here in Brandon, Manitoba. I'm a father of 2. Over the years, I've noticed that Brandon has changed a lot. I've seen the cost of rent go through the roof. It seems outrageous to me, and I've seen the price of houses double over the last 10 years. And this is an issue I'm very passionate about because it affects a lot of my friends and a lot of my family and a lot of people I care about. And I'm here today to say that this problem needs to get fixed, and it needs to get fixed as soon as possible. Thanks.
Thank you, Henry. And I've asked Henry to remain because I want him to answer the 2-minute question before we begin the question and answer. And essentially, Henry, the question is, how will your term as mayor respond to the constituency gathered here today And you have 2 minutes, please.
Run that question by me again.
How will your term as mayor respond to the constituency gathered here today?
Well, because I feel that housing is such a major issue, I think it'll affect everyone in the constituency. And my term as mayor, I'd like to see this problem resolved, as well as many others. I know that ain't 2 minutes, but that's that.
Thank you, Dave. I'm sorry, thank you, Remy. And I'll call upon David this time, please.
And you want- I think probably with this group that, of course, with the adult education, one of the biggest parts is what there is for availability of jobs. And that's something that we've experienced great growth in the job market throughout the past couple of years when it's been pretty rough throughout the world. So I think it's very progressive in what we've experienced, but so much more that we can do with some of what we have in place to be able to attract more industry. We now have, of course, more capacity to increase our industrial park, add more businesses in that in vein, and trying to garner some of the higher paying jobs. I also feel housing is something that not only is it something you always hear about affordable housing, but it's also the supply and demand not being met. Last year we had 417 housing units built in this city, which was just unbelievable for a step forward, but we still have to catch up. And that is probably the biggest detriment with the low vacancy rate to the prices that are being charged for the rents. That is something we'd like to see continue with that growth so that that actually eases the market. But we're also taking steps to end up with more affordable housing initiatives, and I believe that has to be kept very simple. We need to be able to put forward proposal calls for land that we donate from the city, and I believe 3 parcels of land can fit that bill for that throughout the city, and not only just in the periphery, but also, for example, what we just heard, Fleming property in that area, also in the downtown area. There's property there that's coming forward that we'd like to put towards that. So I think in all, that's probably the biggest thing, is to continue with the job creation and also meet the demand of our growth. You had another question, or that was it? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. I would like to call on Mr. Avalon and to also respond to this question. And after our next speaker, we will go to the question and answer, and I believe the format is going to be all candidates will have the opportunity to answer the questions. But here's Mr. Avalon.
Thank you. How will your term as mayor respond to the constituency gathered here today, to the ladies and gentlemen here today? I believe my term as mayor, should I be elected as mayor, I think that the progress and the development that our mayor, Dave Burgess, has provided for us over the last 8 years has been exceptional. It's been fantastic. The city here has seen massive amounts of money and development invested, and we've really grown and changed as a community. That is undoubtable. To those who are long-term Brandonites, such as myself, and as the other candidates here are proud to be, as we all are proud to be long-term Brandonites, one thing that would change as me being mayor is I have a belief that cleanliness is next to godliness. And I think that in this constituency, or amongst these people, or in this neighborhood, this community particularly, this neighborhood outside of our windows here, is not exactly one of our more polished communities. It definitely could use a lot of cleaning, upgrading, and general maintenance, general public works maintenance in this particular area of the city. And Dave would be familiar with that, as he's from this area of the city. And so I think, as myself being elected as mayor, I would believe that the general development of the city would carry on as per understood, as we've experienced in the past 4 to 8 years. However, I think this constituency here would experience a much cleaner, more vibrant and colorful outdoors and experience when it comes to their relationship with the city outside of their own homes and out on the street and on the sidewalk. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Avalon.